Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I do want to speak about Xavi Hernández's interview. Okay, so I think that what he gave out in this interview was very insightful. I have to talk about it because it gives us more information about what Xavi Hernández said to Hansi Flick about 7 to 8 months ago when they took that picture together, because everybody was assuming that Xavi Hernández did not like Hansi Flick or Hansi Flick did not like Xavi Hernández. We're going to be talking about that in this video, and then also speak about where Xavi Hernández's future does go, because Xavi Hernández has given us a few hints about where he does want to go next. And so if you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. I'm happy you guys are here. If you guys are FC Barcelona fans, this is going to be the channel for you. So if you guys end up liking this video, please, as always, like the video, click the thumbs up button, and also especially subscribe to the channel, because we are on track to get to 100k subscribers. So let's talk about this Xavi Hernández interview, because I'm excited, right? Because it does give us a lot of insights. First things first, he talked about his relationship with Hansi Flick, and he said, and I quote, "Hansi came here to see me and we spoke for 2 hours. We have a good relationship, and he said, thank you so much. What you helped create here means I'm happy. The players train hard and they get some of their mentality from you. I have a good relationship and respect for Hansi Flick and his players, just as I had for Ronald Koeman before me. Koeman should be credited for bringing in Xavi, Alejandro Balde, and other young players, which I benefited from." So once again, very insightful, because at the end of the day, we always have to be thankful for what Xavi Hernández brought to FC Barcelona. Without Xavi Hernández, Hansi Flick would not be able to work with players like Lamine, Yamal, Cubarsí. There was also that other player, Hector Fort. There's been a lot of players that Xavi Hernández introduced, and I believe that the reason why Deco and Joan Laporta made this decision to let go of Xavi and bring in Hansi is because at that time, when Xavi Hernández got hired, we were in a period where we needed to build a foundation, because Barcelona did not have a foundation back in 2021, around the time that Ronald Koeman was the coach. What what he had was like, he's like, okay, just bring me this player and that player. We have to just fix this short-term solution, and this player and that player. But Ronald Koeman did not have the capacity to set a good foundation at FC Barcelona like Xavi did. I mean, obviously, Xavi Hernández just said that Ronald Koeman brought in Alejandro Balde and Xavi, etc. So in some capacity, yes, Koeman brought in some foundational players, but it's nothing compared to what Xavi Hernández did right before he left. Xavi Hernández was the ideal man at that time, back in 2021, all the way until 2024, to bring us a strong foundation. And then the moment Hansi Flick came into the minds of Joan Laporta and Deco, they said, okay, we have the strong foundation, but now we want to be one of the elites in Europe. We want people to fear us. Xavi Hernández was our foundation, but we need a coach that can bring us as if like he's going to inject steroids in all of these players the next day, like tomorrow. Who is a coach that can bring that? And that is Hansi Flick, because he has a good track record on doing that. Look at what he did with Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich were not a good team back in December 2019. And then Hansi Flick came in, just changed the whole squad, the dynamic, the mentality, just like that within a span of 2 months, and they became Champions League material. They were winners just like that overnight. And Joan Laporta and Deco wanted that for FC Barcelona because they had the material already. Of course, you just needed to make those little adjustments here and there. Maybe bring in Dani Olmo, right? Or Pau Victor to enhance some certain spots. But overall, what Hansi Flick has worked with has mainly came from Xavi Hernández. So once again, very insightful. I love it. So then we move on towards the next one, right? Xavi Hernández explained how ready he feels right now and his advice to Hansi Flick, and this is what he said. "I am ready to suffer again, but I don't think I will suffer any more than I suffered at FC Barcelona. And I told Hansi Flick, don't follow anything in the media or you will go crazy. Just concentrate on the team, because if you are from here, you do suffer a lot." So that is wonderful advice coming from Xavi Hernández, because if there is one thing that coaches 99% of the time fall into, is listen to the media, because I know that they're supposed to be like this this coach or this person that you're supposed to look up to and say, whatever he does, I'm gonna act like, right? Because usually coaches say, don't listen to the media. I've seen this over and over again, but it's really hard for a coach to do that and be strong mentally when you coach a team like FC Barcelona, because the media really attacks you in Spain. It's like nothing else. It's worse than in the Premier League. In Spain, it's like you can do 100 things right, but if you do one thing wrong, they're going to call you out on that and put that in front of the newspaper. It's really bad. And so that is one of the things that Xavi Hernández said a few months ago with Hansi Flick. He said, look, it's going to be hard. People will talk bad about you. Even if you do really, really good, people will talk bad about you. I mean, like, look at what happened today. Everybody's saying that Hansi Flick's Barcelona they're frauds, that it's not going to work out, that they're never going to win the Champions League even after 10 years. And you know how many things Hansi Flick got correct this season? We're doing amazing. That is why with me, you did not see me so frustrated and mad and just so angry after the match between Inter Milan and Barcelona. I was not angry whatsoever because I knew that we have already won. We have already taken the extra step. You can call this like, I don't know, like you're just coping, Kevin. You're coping and you're just trying to make things up to maybe bring more positivity to your head. But no, it's true and it's factual, right? We have to look at this Barcelona team and say we have improved. We are much better than we were a year ago. And Hansi Flick is really good at this because I have yet to see Hansi Flick speak to the media and say, I've seen what you guys have said and you guys are wrong. And what did you say? You're wrong about this. You're wrong. Like, Hansi Flick is not reactionary whatsoever. Xavi Hernández was. Like, if you go back to the Xavi Hernández's pre-match press conferences, post-match press conferences, and all of these other interviews, Xavi Hernández was always getting on these journalists. He was mad. He was the person that was mad. He could not take it. And so when Xavi Hernández left and he spoke to Hansi, and when Hansi had the job, he said, hey, look, this is what happened. And this is how I felt. And, you know, you should not fall bait into this because you will sidetrack yourself. And you don't want that. So the other thing that he said, right, is like he said that he's not gonna suffer in another team like he did at FC Barcelona. At Barcelona is the worst, especially because Barcelona is the club of your life, right? So if like Xavi goes and coaches, let's just say Man City or Arsenal or Liverpool or wherever, Milan, AC Milan, wherever, PSG, I don't know where he's gonna go next. Regardless of the result, if he does a bad job, it's not gonna hurt as much as what happened at Barcelona, even though he did good, even though he brought the first league title after 4 years without Messi, you know? So this is also going to bring me to another thing, right? It's like, you see how easy it is to like really nitpick on a coach and say that you're bad because of this, you're bad because of that. I want us to really generate this consensus right now, okay? Going into the next season, because we're almost done with this season. There's 4 matches left. We'll see if we win the league. Nothing is for sure, but we'll see. But I don't want us to bash on Hansi Flick if Barcelona do worse next season. I don't think that is the correct attitude to have. I think that we need to be okay and prepared to know that Hansi's Barcelona might underperform next season compared to what we did this season. It might happen. Like, we might not even win the Champions League in the next 2 or 3 years. Does that mean that we have to give Hansi Flick the same treatment that we did to Xavi Hernández? No. These things do take time. If, let's just say, for example, we win the league, we got knocked out of the Champions League, let's just say in the quarterfinals, and we don't win the Spanish Super Cup, but we win the Copa del Rey, right? Something just a level below from what we did this season. It does not mean that Hansi Flick needs to leave and we have to start creating all of these comments and creating all of these posts on X or YouTube or Instagram and say that Hansi Flick should be out because we should not be taking a step down. No, that's not how it works. That's not how football works. Man, like Pep Guardiola's Man City, right? Go look at what happened back in 2016 when he first came in to coach Man City. Pep did not win a Champions League until 7 years after he took the job. 7 years. I'm not saying that it's going to take 7 years for Hansi to win a Champions League with Barcelona, but I'm telling you that things like this do take time, and it's not always going to be perfect. Guardiola's Man City went through ups and downs. The 2016 team was better than the 2017 team. You know, it's just like that. It fluctuates. Klopp did not win his first Champions League with Liverpool until like 4 years deep into his career at Liverpool. It took 4 seasons. to win the Champions League. So it takes a lot of time. And that's just how it is. Does that mean, like, at that time, did it mean that we have to sack Pep? Do we have to sack Klopp? No, it does not mean that. You just continue with the work that you're doing because you see the positive results. You see that these players are getting more mature, mentally ready. And well, I think that if, let's just say next season, if we win the league, we win one out of the 2 trophies, which is the Copa del Rey or the Spanish Super Cup, that is fine with me. It's not a requirement to win the Champions League whatsoever. I know that it would be nice for us to win the Champions League, but that is not a requirement. That should not be the reason why a coach like Hansi Flick should be leaving, only because we cannot win the Champions League. We have to continue like this, because one of the things that I believe is the most important out of all, besides winning actual trophies, is to play with ambition and to lose with honor and dignity. We need those 2 things. As long as Hansi can bring that to FC Barcelona, there is no reason for us to let him go unless he wants to leave. And there is no reason for all the fans to come out and say that Hansi Flick is trash and this and that. That doesn't make any sense. If Barcelona continue to play with ambition and they lose with honor and dignity, and the football world fears us and they don't want to play against us, like what Luis Enrique just said in his interview about 24 hours ago, where he said, thank God I don't have to face Barcelona in the final. If we have that type of respect in Europe, we have to maintain our position with Hansi and nothing more. So Xavi Hernández continued to say, we're just going to run through these comments. And he said, if you ask, right, this is about the pride in promoting the youth, right? He said, if you ask if I'm happy and proud to have given debuts to Lamine Yamal and Cubarsí, of course I am. Lamine Yamal is a genius. He will become the best. So once again, very happy with what Xavi Hernández brought to us. Yamal and Cubarsí is his biggest work, and in about 7 to 80 years from today, we're going to look back and say, yeah, what Yamal and Cubarsí are right now, it's all thanks to Xavi Hernández. And hopefully, maybe in the future, Xavi Hernández can coach these 2 players again. I would really love that. And I'm not talking about like next year or 2 years, maybe in about 5 to 6 years from today. So then Xavi Hernández spoke about his football obsession, which is kind of funny about it. This is the funny part, right? Like he says he watches up to 8 games in one day, and that's every day. He watches 8 games minimum. The average game is 2 hours. So you're telling me that you spend 16 hours a day watching matches? He said that he analyzes teams like Atlanta, Marseille, Forest, and he stated, football is crazy. The maximum number of games I've watched in one day was 8. I went with my family to Qatar recently and didn't watch any football, just all the Champions League games. And he also said that he prefers to watch games on TV instead of in person because he does not like the attention. And he still supports Hansi Flick's Barcelona from home. He watches all matches. So I thought I was the one that watched a lot of games, but Xavi Hernández is like a whole other different monster. Like for me, I watch an average of 2 matches per day. Max I can do is 3. I can't go past 3. Past 3, like my eyes start burning. I have to like do something else, go work out, or just do something that takes me out of tune, and then I can restart. But I cannot watch 8 matches, dude. That's a lot. The only time you'll see me watch maybe potentially 3 to 4 matches would be during the World Cup, during the group stages. That is the only time I can get close to 3 to 4 matches a day. But besides that, not a chance. I stick to my 1 to 2 matches, which is usually like Barcelona playing and maybe Madrid playing on that same day, or let's just say on a Tuesday, Barcelona's playing, maybe a team like PSG is playing. I'll watch that 2 games, but nothing more than that. 4 hours of watching football is good enough for me. And especially knowing that, you know, I do editing and videos for a living, I cannot look at this screen that I'm looking at right now and then go on and watch another 2 hours of football. It's too much. My eyes hurt. My eyes hurt, literally. Like, that's why I'm wearing my glasses. But yeah, super cool to know that Xavi Hernández he watches 8 games. Hopefully I could get to that level, but as of now, no, not a chance. So now let's go to the analytical takes on teams and coaches. Once again, very interesting. He said that he praises Athletic Club's atmosphere and Valverde's 4-4-2 press. So if you guys have not seen what happened to Athletic Club recently, they have been knocked out by Manchester United, meaning that they expect a lot of stories coming out between Nico Williams and Barcelona, and maybe even with Arsenal and Chelsea, because there has been a lot of teams interested in Nico Williams. But now knowing that Nico Williams' job is done with Athletic Club, he's basically done in the league as well. expect noise to happen between Nico and Barcelona, and we'll be hearing a lot of information very soon, and we'll be talking about it here in this YouTube channel. So he stated that playing football in Bilbao is like being in the theater. It's like in England. And he also talks about watching Inter Milan from Inzaghi, and he talks about Pep Guardiola's adaptations, Luis Enrique's PSG. He studies all of them, and he said that Inter Milan is not my style. In terms of playing with a line of 5, he just does not like that. And then he said that they're doing so well with Inzaghi. So clearly, if Xavi Hernández were to ever go back to FC Barcelona, he would never ever have a line of 5. He just says that's too chaotic. He just does not want to play that defensive, even though, I mean, he can say that because Barcelona back in 2020, 2023, 2022, Barcelona were the best defensive team in Europe, better than Inter Milan in that exact same year. So maybe he does have a different solution, and that solution just ends up working. So, and he did not need to use a 5-man backline or 5-man midfield like Inzaghi is doing with Inter Milan right now. So moving on towards the next one, and that is about his, which one is this one? The coaching philosophy, right? He was talking about the 5 P's, and he's saying that my philosophy is the 4 P's: possession, possession, position, press, and perception. But he does like to add one more P, which is passion. He said that he will always and forever use the 4-3-3 because he can adapt to the 3-4-3 formation, and sometimes maybe a 4-2-3-1, which is something that we have never really seen at FC Barcelona. Just so you guys know, if you guys ever like thought about how different Hansi Flick's Barcelona is to Xavi Hernández's Barcelona, it's the exact same thing. Like in terms of the position of the players, it is the exact same thing. It's just the attitude and the intentions are different. Like Hansi Flick wants the ball to go through the middle much faster than how Xavi Hernández wants it. And the reason why is because he's much more conservative, much more careful with the ball. He's more calma-like, right? He has that calma attitude, and he wants the players to be like that. And he's like, calma, let's not pass the ball too fast because I do not want to lose it. Hansi is like, no, screw that. Pass the ball fast. Do it, and do it now. You only have a second and nothing more. If you are slow with the ball, you're going to come out. It's just like that. Literally go look at the players' positions between Xavi Hernández's Barcelona and Hansi's. It's the exact same thing, right? 3 at the back. You see 2 in the middle. There's like 3 other players above that, and it's just that the intention is different and the play is wildly different, way more vertical. Xavi Hernández's Barcelona and his football is more horizontal. So now let's move on towards the future ambitions, right? And he stated, of course, where I don't know. I'd like a good project. And this is him referencing whether he would coach a different team. And that's why he said, he's like, of course, but he just does not know where. But he wants a good project. And then he said that, like, you have 4 years to work and make a project. I love to work in the Premier League because I love the passion there. So clearly, Xavi Hernández wants to go to a team where he knows that he can rejuvenate, restart a club and say, we're going to start from ground zero. Give me 4 years and I'll take this team to the top. Unfortunately, with Barcelona, it was different, right? Because, Joan Laporta wanted things to come out much faster, which is understandable, and it's working. So we cannot say anything about that. But clearly, Xavi Hernández wants to go to a team where he can stay there for 4 years. He wants 4 years, a much different attitude compared to Hansi. Hansi is more like, I will bring you the results now. I do not know if I want to be here next year. I don't even know if I want to be there in 2 years. We'll take it little by little because I do not want to commit myself for 4 to 5 years from the very beginning. But with Xavi, he's like, I want 4 years. I want a project. I want to stay here for a long time. And let me tell you, I'm telling you guys right now. I have told you guys multiple times, and I want you guys to clip this. The next coach for Man City, it is going to be Xavi Hernández. I know it's going to be that. Maybe Arsenal, because maybe they might be tired with Arteta and the fact that they cannot win anything because they have not won anything in the past 5 years. But I'm telling you, the ideal candidate to replace Guardiola, it is Man City. And I think that Xavi Hernández would do phenomenal work at Man City, dude. Like it can just imagine, like, you have the talent already there, but you also have the resources to spend as much money as you want. And Xavi Hernández, one of the main reasons why he couldn't be as effective at Barcelona as he could have been is because Barcelona had no resources. They could not bring any players that they wanted. But you have a coach like Xavi with a lot of pull power and money. You're going to be looking at something very scary. And so I really want that to happen. I would love to talk about that team that could be assembled. So yeah, that's basically it. Like, that's basically everything that Xavi Hernández said. I mean, like, I did skip a few parts, like him talking about his family and stuff like that. I'm not gonna be talking about that in this video, but yeah, that's basically it. Very insightful, very interesting, and stay tuned for the next video that will be coming up between Real Madrid and FC Barcelona, because that is going to be our next game. It is going to be a Clásico. It's going to be on a Sunday, very early. For me, it's going to be at 7:15 a.m. So I like games like that. I love waking up very early, drinking my black coffee. I'm ready for the game, ready to do my little 10 push-ups. And I just get ready. So it's I'm going to be making a match preview for that game. And of course, I'm going to be making a match review for that match. Whatever does happen, hopefully Barcelona come out with a win. But that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.